Hey everybody, welcome back to whatever this is. Um, Akira Toriyama passed. The news came out last night and I'm still kind of processing it. I wanted to make this video today to let my viewers know that that happened. I'm sure you may have already heard the news, but mostly I wanted to talk a little bit about what Akira Toriyama means to me as a kid who grew up in the 90s enjoying his works, and as an adult today, I use the word in air quotes, who just continues to enjoy pretty much everything this guy has laid his hands on. And it's it's still kind of rocking my world right now to think that he's gone. So, Akira Toriyama, he was 68 when he passed. I don't really know anything else about it. I don't think they've put out many details about how he went. Just asked for, tranquility, and he's asked the people to do not send gifts or anything, or try to interview his family or anything like that. So, respect those wishes. My first interaction with the works of Akira Toriyama were back in, oh gosh, I was in fifth grade. I was playing on the high school, not high school, the grade school play toys. I think we were swinging or something, and my friends were talking about these two characters that I had never heard of before. They were talking about who was going to be Vegeta and who was Nappa. um, and and I got stuck being Yamcha. And I was like, okay, well, whatever, whatever, that's cool. I'll find out who the heck Yamcha is. So I decided to watch the show that they were talking about that was airing on Toonami after school. So I watched, uh, and they were talking about who this Gohan character is, and just this super powerful little kid who is being trained by some crazy monster demon thing. Uh, and it was around that time that I became a fan of Toriyama, and and it was shortly thereafter that I found out that Yamcha is not the character that you want to champion if you're a fan of Dragon Ball. He gave it a good shot. He gave it a good go, but maybe if I was watching Dragon Ball and not Z, I would have had a different opinion. But suffice it to say, Dragon Ball was my introduction to not just Akira Toriyama, but to anime in general. And it was a very pivotal point in my life, I think, where I was developing a lot of different kinds of fandoms. One of those ended up being for RPGs in general. Eventually, when I would play through some RPGs, I would notice a striking similarity in character designs between Chrono and Chrono Trigger and the Dragon Ball movies or show that I was watching. And I would go to art class and I would draw and I would learn to draw characters mostly in a Dragon Ball style. Uh, it was, you know, for a long time I considered myself an artist. I'd started with loving to draw characters from Dragon Ball, and that led me on to do a lot of different kinds of art projects over the years, not just anime inspired, but just actual art, traditional styles of art. But I wonder what life would have been like had I not been influenced by Toriyama early on. And I don't think that I think life would be a lot different and not for the better. Uh, I know that my wife and I we watched Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z together early on in our relationship. She didn't run for the hills screaming, so that's when I knew she was a keeper. So Toriyama has he's played a role in my life. which is pretty interesting to think about. I know that some people won't get it. It's just an anime, it's just pop culture media, but it's experiences that you share with the people that you know and love. I also wonder what the Japanese RPG genre would be like today if not for the influences of Akira Toriyama and his influence on Dragon Quest, which is the it is maybe not the first Japanese style RPG ever made, but it is certainly the most influential and has solidified so many of the things that we kind of have grown to know and love and expect in a Japanese style RPG. As the story goes, the developers of Dragon Quest were uh, trying to do their best to make sure that this was a successful franchise. So they went out and enlisted the star power of some celebrities of the time, Koichi Sugiyama being one of them, and Akira Toriyama being another, who was particularly well known at the time thanks to his works that were coming out that were extremely popular in Shonen Jump, things like Doctor Slump and Dragon Ball. So they reached out to Akira Toriyama to help get his help creating a. So they reached out to his help to make a weekly entry in Shonen Jump that would feature the characters of Dragon Quest to help pump the people up for this upcoming video game, and it worked. And the the style of humor, the brand of humor of Akira Toriyama is felt throughout all of I almost said Dragon Ball, but yes, Dragon Ball, but Dragon Quest as well. You really start to feel it in the later entries after like three and then to four, I think. Of course, he went on to work on several other RPGs as well. Chrono Trigger, we all know, Blue Dragon. Yeah, his particular brand of humor that you can find throughout Slump and through Dragon Ball and eventually into Dragon Quest is phenomenal. It's I like it because it feels like it's humor that's not necessarily at anybody's expense. Imagine going that long in the industry and having, as far as I can see, no enemies. Nobody hates you. That's something that I think we could all strive to accomplish over the years. Man, so many of the tropes that I have also grown to know and love in anime and in manga were definitely inspired by Akira Toriyama, at least in part. The whole tournament arc trope, and how you know at the end of the day, like finding your inner power. Like, sure, he maybe didn't invent a lot of those things from scratch, but he certainly popularized them, or helped to popularize them, and I just can't imagine what a JRPG today would be like without Akira Toriyama's influences. So the man may be gone, but his influences will live on forever, as far as I'm concerned. And man, Sandland is still just around the corner. He had so much work that was still in the progress that it's really unfortunate that he won't get to see how they're received. But I got a feeling that they'll do pretty well. I'm hoping that they do. But these musings, these ramblings aside, I just wanted to talk about my experience with Toriyama And I wanted to hear your thoughts. What what influence did Toriyama have on your life, if any, or the things that you enjoy? Let's talk about him. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me this morning, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day, everybody. Also, I said this in my discussion about Murayama of Suikoden and Eiyuden Chronicle fame. Every day is a gift, guys. Do what you love today. Do not wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for tomorrow to live and enjoy life. Do something you enjoy today.